What's up YouTube? KT here. Out in the garage once again working on Mom's 2006 Volvo V70. Gonna do some basic maintenance on it today. Ready for an oil change and the spark plug change. She's got about 80,000 miles on it. I think the spark plugs go a little longer than that, but we're gonna go ahead. I did get a viewer request about replacing spark plugs on a Volvo, I said V70, that's an old car we had, S40. It's a 2006 Volvo S40 with the T5, the Turbo 5 engine. And I'm going to replace some spark plugs on it as well. Had a viewer request for that, so. I'm going to go ahead and get started. I've already got the car up on jack stands. Yeah, that's a jack there, but the jack stands are under the car. First thing we have to do for the oil change is remove the gravel plate under the front of the car, and that's pretty straightforward. You're going to need some a T30 bit. It's a Torx bit, T30. Pull the panel out of the way, and then once I get that down and out of the way, I'll show you where the business end of the engine is. We'll get the oil drained and we'll get the filter changed out, and then we'll move on to the spark plugs. All right, stand by. Okay, step one for the oil. Get the car up. I think I showed you already have jacked up, and I've got the gravel shield removed right here. Get it out of the way. You're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 screws that are going to come out of it. Get the gravel shield out of the way. Get your oil drain down on the bottom. Right down here is where the Volvo oil filter is for this car. It's a canister element type. To get to that, you want to take this inlet for the down pipe going in. This is the charge pipe going into the intake, into the filter, out of the air box, and then back into the turbo, right? So we're going to get this elbow out of the way. We got a 10mm bolt here. Oil change monkeys that did this one last time did not put that bolt back in. So we're going to just leave that as is, but just know that there might be a 10mm bolt there. Once you get this out of the way, it's a screwdriver. Punch it in there, we'll pop it off. We're going to take the air filter out of the way, get the down tube out of the way so we can get back there to that filter. Alright, stand by. They didn't even have that stuck down in the tube right. This is actually supposed to kind of click in. It was just laying there. Doesn't matter, but that's not how it's supposed to go. Make sure you hang onto your gasket there. Get it out of the way for right now. This 90 comes up and out of here. There's the intake. And right down here, we've got, now you can see we've got full access to the oil filter right here. Alright, let me grab my big ass socket and I'll be right back. Okay, here we have my big ass socket. This is a 36mm, and all we're going to do with this is put it, and this is an O-ring seal. This little cap down here is an O-ring seal. Oh, and I've got my swivel on it too. It's a 3/8 drive swivel and 2.5 inch adapter. And again, here's the canister top, and it's an O-ring seal, so just put your wrench on it. Take your time nice and slow, backing it out. We're fishing for that. There we go. I'm doing this one-handed, so usually I catch stuff like that. Alright. And cap is loose. Get it out of the way. And there's the filter element. There's some crud down in there. Let me get my light and I'll show you. We're going to do our best to get that out of there. We'll get a paper towel and we'll wipe that out. On the lid itself is where the O-ring is. Right there on the cap. We'll get that changed out, get the new element in, and next. Okay, new filter, new O-ring, everything goes back in reverse order. While you've got your air filter out, check to make sure that it's still nice and clean. It's a good time to change it if you haven't changed it in a while. Or at least take it out and beat the dust out of it. Again, this is an O-ring seal. That canister lid is made out of plastic, so you don't want to over tighten it. Just put your wrench on it, snug it down. And see, my O-ring is giving me a little bit of trouble here. So watch your O-ring, make sure you don't cut it when it's going in. It should go in fairly easily. There it goes. Wiggle it back and forth. Get all the way down to the bottom. And snug it so it doesn't loosen up. It doesn't have to be tight. It's not holding any pressure. Just tighten up so it doesn't come loose. Did it again. There we go. So you saw when I took this elbow off right here, it came right out of the tube. And the reason is because when they put it back together, they didn't make sure that it was all secure. These are reverse, right? So when you get ready to put everything back together, just put it in, twist it, and this bottom piece up here will turn as well, right? It's actually supposed to latch, but it's probably worn out. But just put it in, turn it to the left until you have the right angle here, and for this to go in the air box, and you're snug. And it should not come apart. Let's stick it down in here. Snap it together there. Now we got a nice snug fit. I've still got my hose connected here on the bottom. And we'll put the bolt in it and let it rip. Air filter, don't forget your gasket. That's it. Oil filter's done. Alright, just topped it off with 6 quarts of Castrol full synthetic. Actually, it calls for 6.1 in the owner's manual. With the filters about 6.5, so I went ahead and put 7 quarts in it. 7, it overfills it just a tiny bit, but with a 7,500, 10,000 mile maintenance interval, that way we'll have a little extra oil to last, hopefully till the next oil change. Again, make sure all your screws are tight after you drive it around for a bit. Hang on. What I did after I changed my oil, or changed the oil, not my car, after I changed the oil, I squirted, I have some brake cleaner, and I squirted it down all around the top of the canister, that little cap right there, and then went for a drive around the block and came back and everything is still nice and clean. There's no oil splatters anywhere, so that tells me that the O-ring is sealed on that and we're in good shape. Any carburetor cleaner or brake parts cleaner will do. This is what I use. This stuff evaporates pretty quick. So that's it. Any questions or comments, leave them in the section below. I hope this helps out. It's a pretty easy process. It took me about 3 hours, but that includes the time to go to the auto parts store to get the spark plugs, and it also includes taking time out to get the camera in the right position and so that kind of stuff. Don't forget to put your gravel shield back under. Oh, one more thing. Oil plug is a 15 millimeter, so you'll need a 15 millimeter for your oil change. I already showed you what size the canister nut was, and that's all you're going to need for the and a Phillips screw to get the air filter out. Phillips screwdriver, and that's it for the oil change. Pretty simple. Combined, if I had gotten both of them and had all my stuff together and had the spark plugs here, probably would have taken about 2 hours at the most, maybe an hour, hour and a half, because it goes by pretty quick. So, if you have any questions or comments, again, leave them in the section below. I appreciate all the new subscribers. Again, getting to my fun stuff, this kind of thing always pops up. But I do have a couple of videos I'm going to throw, one video I'm going to throw up where I got my El Caminos moved around, and I'm going to show you in the back where I'm going to be pouring a slab so I can work on my crap and not have to worry about losing my garage. Alright everybody, take care, peace out, and we'll see you on the next one. Adios.